So Mia and I moved from the west of London, from barns, from musicals, from the busy life to the Swedish west coast. And it was extreme working from home for me at the start. We knew nobody. We knew the person we bought the house from. But people were really friendly. So it was a new country, new culture. There's no bridge. I don't know if you can see over there is the mainland. We're out at sea. I had one contract and I was starting a new company in Sweden. And then 9/11 happened. And overnight, my contract to sell advertising for an American magazine dried up. And I had to pick up the phone with no clients and start getting a business to happen. And you know that feeling? And fortunately, I had a piece of advice to get me through this dark time that it was, which was don't try and do it on your own. Almost don't count on yourself, which is odd advice, right? But it did open a door for me to get support from other people, so I did. I used something that I'd been trying out earlier, which was I called a friend and I said, look, could we call each other each morning, talk about the day ahead, make plans for the day, and then follow up the next morning? And I started to fill the calendar. I started to get the work. I got several longish contracts, but it was still a bit hand to mouth. And then I got a big client. I landed a big client. And I was suddenly traveling around the world, from Vietnam to Prague to Vancouver. I would hold a party each year for hundreds of clients in the suite at the top of the Park Lane Hilton. But I kept making the calls. I kept working on this buddy system and making it more effective and making it more supportive. Today there are 4 of us in the team working on DIDU Habit Makers. Frederick's a master business coach, and he has these ideas to build forward momentum to get us moving ahead. Sally's a facilitator in letting go. And so when we push ahead, resistance shows up, and her job is to help us release that. It's an amazing thing to have with you. Mia is an educator and filmmaker, and then there's me. Our clients, they like people. They like collaboration. They work for themselves. They're business owners or freelancers. And, you know, they might go to the odd networking event, and they really like it. And yet they miss having colleagues to brainstorm with about the business or share their challenges or successes. And, you know, you can only speak to the family so many times about the business, don't you? I mean, I bet in lockdown, like me, you've been, you know, wanting to talk to somebody about the business and about the ideas, and they just give you this, in the end, they give you this blank stare, and it's understandable. Look, we're having a free webinar. It's coming up shortly. I'm going to teach you how to take a friendship you already have or a working relationship and make it intentional. It can even be a customer. You can have a common purpose together and become really good supporters and allies to each other. And to do that, I'm going to be talking about some of the myths about habits and about self-discipline, some of the things that can get us into a bit of a negative spiral. And I'll tell you some great stories about what people have achieved with it all, 5-step process for building meaningful support, and some of the principles that mean that we get in the way of ourselves when we want to grow the business. Got lots of great ideas and frameworks for planning the week, planning the day. We have our co-work, our co-week. So if that sounds like something for you, come along and you'll get a toolkit you can put into action straight away. People love the webinar. We've had such great feedback, and this is my passion. I love talking about it. So I'd love to talk to you about it. So I'll see you there.